Have you ever wondered why success stories seem so common yet failure feels so personal? Why we hear so much about the one business that made it big, but not the hundreds that didn't? This phenomenon hides within a concept called survivorship bias. Imagine walking through a graveyard of failed businesses. Each tombstone represents a dream that didn't come true, an idea that didn't work out. But when you exit the graveyard, you see the gleaming skyscrapers of successful businesses, standing tall and proud. Those are the stories you hear about, the stories of the survivors. But they are not the whole story. They are the result of survivorship bias. Survivorship bias is the logical error of focusing on the people or things that made it past some selection process, while overlooking those that did not, typically because of their lack of visibility. This can lead to false conclusions in several different ways. Take the example of aspiring authors. You might think that writing a bestseller is easy because you only hear about the successful authors. J.K. Rowling, Stephen King, George R.R. Martin, their names are known worldwide. But for every J.K. Rowling, there are thousands of authors whose books never see the light of day. Or consider the world of startups. You hear about the unicorns, the billion-dollar companies like Uber, Airbnb, and Snapchat, but what you don't hear about are the countless startups that fail within their first 5 years. The graveyard of businesses is much larger than the skyline of success. Even in wartime, survivorship bias can have serious implications. During World War II, the military wanted to add armor to their airplanes. They looked at the planes that had returned from missions and noted where they had taken the most damage. But a statistician named Abraham Wald pointed out their error. They were only considering the planes that had survived. What about the ones that hadn't returned? Those were the planes that needed the most protection. Wald's insight helped save countless lives. So, what can we learn from survivorship bias? First, it reminds us to question the stories we hear. Success is not as common as it seems, and failure is not as rare. Second, it shows us that we need to consider all the data, not just the visible or successful outcomes. Third, it teaches us to be wary of easy solutions and quick paths to success. They are often illusions, created by survivorship bias. Lastly, it warns us against romanticizing the past. The good old days weren't always good, we just forget about the bad parts. In conclusion, survivorship bias is a silent partner in our perceptions, subtly influencing our understanding of success and failure. It stands as a reminder to look beyond the success stories, to remember the failures, and to consider the whole picture before drawing conclusions. It is a call to wisdom, a call to critical thinking, and a call to humility. So the next time you hear a success story, remember the graveyard, remember the unseen failures, and remember survivorship bias.